Of course, she turns to him instead of Jason or Sunny. I mean, why go with someone who actually has a proven track record of protecting her when she can turn to an agent who's, well, not even clear on whose side he's on? Genius move, really. Brennan, seriously, what's his deal? Is he a good guy? A bad guy? I can't tell anymore. Anyone have a clue? It's a mystery wrapped in an enigma with a side of confusion. And let's all just collectively roll our eyes. I knew Colette had messaged him. If you didn't see that coming, I don't know what to tell you. But here's the real kicker. Brennan didn't know Joss had a gun. He sat there, watching Cyrus, fully okay with him taking an axe to her. At this point, I'm convinced Brennan's been using Joss all along to recruit her for the WSB. Just when I started to think maybe Brennan wasn't the worst. Hello, heart to heart with Donna. We get this revelation. And oh, Anna and Jason. Can't wait for them to deliver that classic, I told you so to Carly. Pure gold. Joss, honey, why didn't you just call the police? There was literally no one on Cyrus's side who mattered. Instead, we're in for another round of Joss agonizing over her decisions, while everyone around her starts catching on that something's off. I'm hoping she'll eventually go to Jason and spill everything. Let's cross our fingers, shall we? Then, of course, we'll all think Jason killed Cyrus and got rid of the body. Drew will get interrogated and somehow conveniently didn't see Jason. Yep, that's how this will play out. So predictable and so dumb. Honestly, this whole storyline is just a mess. It's like they're actively trying to make things worse. I swear, the fans could write better storylines. GA clearly doesn't have a clue anymore. But hey, just my 2 cents. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Another genius storyline. It was literally so hard to pick up the phone and call the police to say, hey, this was self-defense. What a twist, right? So much suspense. And just when I was starting to almost like Brennan and Carly, I was actually starting to root for them as a couple. But nope, that's gone now. Then there's Joss, playing the WBS agent. What a joke. It's pretty clear the show has absolutely no clue what to do with either Joss or Trina. Both actresses are talented and deserve so much better than this mess. Someone wake me up when the writers figure out how to actually give these characters something interesting to do. Seriously though, Joss calling Brennan? Huge mistake. She should have called Jason or even Sunny. At least they wouldn't have messed things up this badly. Brennan is just as useless as Kate's. Wait until Carly finds out. It's going to be chaos. So Jack wants Joss as a WSB agent? Why exactly? Because she's such a model of discretion, right? I mean, we all know she won't be spilling the beans about the shooting. Totally her style to keep it under wraps. And don't even get me started on what Tracy's going to do if the whole Michael's baby secret ever leaks. I'm sure that's going to turn into a circus, and I can't wait to see the tables turn. Also, I think the guy playing Lucky in the hospital may actually be the actor who's been MIA for a while. It looked like him. Could be. Then there's Tracy, who just does this thing where she pushes Sasha to the edge, then swoops in and does something so unexpected. I swear, she's like an emotional roller coaster. But that moment with Jason, seriously, it's like they're the definition of family now, after Jason confirms he's sticking around. And the tears, so meaningful, especially after the whole rant about Drew's life. Ugh. I don't know how much more of Drew I can take. I mean, can he possibly get more irritating? He's officially hit the no redeeming qualities stage, and it's like watching a slow-motion car crash that you can't look away from. Whatever happens next, though, Drew's got full control of his own fate, and I'm almost certain that'll be his undoing. Honestly, I couldn't even stand listening to Drew today. I got through part of it and then had to fast forward through the rest. But Brooklyn telling Chase? That was a moment. Loved how he reacted. As for Joss, Bless her heart, she has no idea what she just walked into. Carly, Jason, and Sunny are not going to be happy about this. It's going to be a mess. Watching Sunny's reaction should be worth the price of admission. So we're supposed to believe that with a whole roster of elite WSB agents, like Robert, Frisco, Anna, Felicia, Constance Townley, O'Reilly, and Holly, all of whom have proven their worth time and time again, Joss is somehow up there with them. The writers must be comedians. Really, it's a joke. Let's talk about Brennan's brilliant plan. He's using Joss to get to Jason. Because, of course, that makes sense. There's no way the WSB would seriously want someone like Joss as an agent. The girl can't even keep a low profile while snooping around. She's messed up every investigation she's been involved in. This whole thing? It's a ploy to reel Jason in. Here's my prediction. Willow is going to find out about Drew and Nina at the same time Chase finds out about Dante. Cue the dramatic comfort sessions between the two of them. Because why not? It's the perfect soap opera move. If Chase knew about Dante now, he'd probably just keep quiet to support his wife. And boom, no actual storyline left. Dante getting mad at Chase for not spilling the beans. Yeah, that's not exactly going to carry us anywhere. As much as I live for the drama of soaps, a small part of me does want to see some couples make it. Like maybe Brooklyn Lynn and Chase. If they break up, we're going to get the old, bitter Brooklyn back, and nobody needs that. I like this happy version. Now, as much as I like Ava and Rick in scenes together, I can't help but think they have zero chemistry. Every time they kiss, it's like they're just smooshing their faces together. I honestly can't believe it, considering Maura's had great chemistry with pretty much everyone. Remember her on ATWT? But Rick and Ava, no key whatsoever. It's like she's just his backup plan while he pines for Elizabeth. And I love Rick, so much. I've watched him since his Guiding Light days. He's had some serious chemistry with people. But with Ava, nah. They've got scene chemistry, but zero sexual tension. It's almost painful to watch. Really, Joss, the same girl who botched the Cyrus investigation, tipped him off about the cops closing in, and got caught every single time she tried to snoop around. She gets asked to be a WSB agent. Hilarious. Might as well ask Trina to join while you're at it. Honestly, GA is just getting absurd. And don't even get me started on Carly. She's too busy playing Busybody of the Year to spend any time with Donna. Donna should be removed from Carly's home. Seriously, someone should call CPS. Now, in my expert opinion, Jack could have just made Joss an agent and then reported to the PCPD that Cyrus was killed during a WSB investigation. And if he wanted to keep Joss's status under wraps, easy. He could have just said, "Oh, one of my agents, no name, of course, shot him while investigating." Problem solved. If warrants or anything else came into play, Jack could probably forge those without breaking a sweat. I mean, who needs legal paperwork when Jack seems to do whatever the heck he wants? He might claim he doesn't have the authority to do certain things, but the WSB clearly doesn't care how he operates in Port Charles. Espionage, anyone? It's all one giant gray area anyway. The PCPD would probably love the help and happily take the credit. After all, who doesn't want to close a case without too much drama? They could just announce Cyrus as a suicide victim and boom, case closed. As for the whole cover up the scene thing, hello, WSB is supposed to be a law enforcement agency, not some shady organization playing by their own rules. Kinda silly, right? But hey, just my 2 cents. As much as it stinks that Jack is grooming Joss for the WSB, let's be real. The show needs a fresh crop of trained agents to jump into crazy situations and save the world. Because, seriously, the streets of Port Charles are crawling with civilians who have no business running around the globe, getting into dangerous messes. This could actually take the show in an interesting direction. Still, Jack's behavior is hard to justify, but I'm curious to see where this whole thing goes. Will Joss end up as the next Anna Devane? Will Carly scorch the earth and go to war with the WSB? Is Jax going to swoop in to rescue his daughter? Could Joss step up as the one who saves the family from their enemies like Jason did? Who's going to be the Robert to Joss's Anna? And oh, are they seriously setting up Christina to be the next Sunny? Because naturally, the two of them will either team up or clash depending on how the wind blows. If they pull it off, this could be a fun ride. Now, Drew's outrage? Totally misplaced. It's way too little, too late. The Q name and fortune were all good as long as Drew was just living off it. Until someone pointed out that he was acting like a complete brat. He wants immediate forgiveness for his bad behavior, but that's not how the Qs roll. Every member of the family who's messed up has had to sit in the proverbial hot seat for a while, and Drew's no different. The instant forgiveness thing? Not really a family trait. Take your lumps, Drew. Eventually, sure, the family might forgive you, but eventually. Jason went through hell and back to earn his place with the Quartermains. He got his kid taken away, was locked up, lied to, and treated like a puppet. Want to swap leaves with that? The only one obsessed with how you never measure up to Jason is you, Drew. No one else cares. If the Qs are that bad, give up the name and money and head back to California. Problem solved. Also, the whole Jason as the golden boy of the kiss thing is a bit much. Remember when the family basically shoved him aside for years? Monica and Emily, and Leela, of course, were the only ones who actually gave him the time of day. Now they're acting like it was all one-sided, like Jason rejected his family when all they wanted was to crown him king. The only reason Jason's suddenly the golden boy of the family now is because Monica's the head of it, and, well, she's his mom. Sure, Jason Quartermain was once seen as the golden child, but Jason Morgan? That's been a different story. He was a disappointment, a thug, and a traitor to most of the family. Tracy definitely wasn't alone in that view. Before Monica became the matriarch and the family shrank down, Jason wasn't exactly adored by the Quartermains, except by the ones who actually mattered to him, his mom, grandma, and sister. Drew is officially becoming the biggest pain in my ass. Honestly, he really needs to get over himself. His jealousy of Jason is so obvious. It's giving off serious Rick and Sunny vibes. You know, Rick still can't get over his bitterness towards Sunny, just for reference. I mean, seriously. And can we talk about AJ? How bad was he? I wasn't watching GH when Sarah Brown played Carly and she was pregnant with Michael, so I'm missing some of that backstory. But still, how much of a mess was AJ? Now, let's talk Chase for a second. This guy is so understanding. I absolutely love how he's handling things with Brooklyn. Their dynamic is one of the few things that's actually refreshing on the show right now. Oh, and about Joss? That was not Cyrus' residence. It was Austin's cabin, and Joss had the key, so no, she wasn't breaking and entering. She was just trying to find some evidence, not chasing after Cyrus. Let's get that straight. Drew really needs to get himself to a good therapist, like Kevin, and work through his jealousy issues with Jason. I mean, come on, Jason got to live with Alan and the Hughes while Drew got the shaft. But blaming Jason for their messed up childhood? That's a stretch, even for Drew. Honestly though, I'm starting to think Drew might have pursued Willow just to hurt Michael. He knows that if he hurts Michael, he's also digging at Jason. It's like Drew's so caught up in his own bitterness that he's not thinking about Scout, or even Danny for that matter. Oh, and Jason drops some truth bombs on Drew about regretting his actions. It's about time. Lucky somehow pulls through his life and death struggle, because of course he does. Lulu finds out from her mom that Cyrus has a plan to kill her, so that's a fun little detail. Joss a whole panic about killing Cyrus. Yeah, that's totally because of Jack. Jack's the one who's been dropping hints and breadcrumbs to get her to figure out the whole truth. He's basically setting her up to blackmail her into joining the WSB. Carly's really not going to be okay when she finds out what Jack is up to. And speaking of Brooklyn, I'm glad Chase is supportive of her being honest about having a kid as a teenager. But wait for it, he still doesn't know Dante's the father. That little bomb is about to drop. And there's still a shocker coming for Brooklyn, Dante, Chase, and Gio. Buckle up for that one. But Drew, do you even know what it took for Jason to come to you? You're mad because Willow's not moving in, so naturally, you blew it. Just like you're going to blow every aspect of your life from here on out, because guess what? Sidwell is going to have you for breakfast. And poor Scout, she's going to be the one who pays the price. Classic move, Drew. Brennan. Oh, Brennan, you're so going to regret this when Carly finds out what you're up to. You really messed up this time. Just back off, Jocelyn. She still needs her mom, and sending her to that cabin? Seriously? Were you shocked when she pulled out a gun? Didn't see that coming, did you? You should be shaking in your boots, because once Mama Bear finds out you're trying to recruit her little girl, and that you sent her off to some creepy cabin, oh boy, you're in trouble. Joss may think she's all grown up, but newsflash, she's not. And I really hope she tells Trina, and that they don't pin this on Jason. Here's hoping Jocelyn doesn't let that happen. Chase, hey Chase, thanks for handling Brooklyn with some class. No judgment, no questions about the baby daddy. You two actually did something right for once, even though I'm sure the truth will come out sooner or later. Sasha. Gotta love Sasha finally standing up for herself, even if it's with a half-truth. The baby is a quartermain, sure, but we all know there's more to the story. Tracy. Oh, look at Tracy, finally accepting Jason into the fold. I mean, who would have thought that would happen? But hey, better late than never, right? Lucky. I'm honestly so glad to see Jonathan Jackson back as Lucky. I knew he wasn't dead. I mean, I hoped he wasn't. But let's be real, who doesn't love a good return from the dead? Dante, seriously, why did you even tell Lulu about Chase and Brooklyn? That girl is going to spill the beans the second she hears BLQ was pregnant in high school. And you know she's not going to keep quiet, especially if she finds out she was with Dante back then. When Drew first showed up in Port Charles, everyone, himself included, was convinced he was Jason, thanks to his conveniently inherited memories. But in today's episode, he casually talked about his life before Port Charles as if he actually remembered all of it. Wait, hold up, did they just pull a fast one and rewrite his history? Last I checked, he didn't actually get those memories back. Carly, my girl, but she seriously needs to stop playing this weird flirting game with Brennan and focus on what's happening with her actual family. Newsflash, Carly, your kids, your husband, everyone needs you right now. Joss totally skipped over Jason, Sunny, and you to dial up Brennan for a chat. You'd think Carly would have figured out something's fishy with Joss hanging around Brennan so much, but nope. And let's talk about Jason. He's got an entire mountain of drama to carry around. Yet has Carly bothered to check in? Not really. Oh, and Sunny's heart is practically hanging by a thread. But he can only count on his number one enemy's wife to help him. Yeah, that's going to work out well. And don't even get me started on Carly teaming up with Nina to save Willow. As if trusting Nina, of all people, is a solid plan. Let Nina deal with her own mess, and Carly, go to Germany to check on your son, Michael, instead of dancing around with Nina. Oh, and surprise, surprise, Brennan has been trying to recruit Joss for the WSB this whole time. That's why he's been feeding her clues to turn her into Port Charles' very own Nancy Drew. He even gave her the address to Cyrus's hideout in Pawtuck. Now, Joss is stuck deciding if she wants to become a WSB agent. In the meantime, though, she's wrestling with the fact that she killed Cyrus. Yes, it was in self-defense, but that's not exactly something you can just erase. And let's not forget those haunting last words from Cyrus. Now, you're the murderer. Yeah, that's not messing with her head at all. Jocelyn is clearly in a state of utter chaos right now. Finally, Drew's jealousy toward Jason and the Quartermaine family, beyond childish. He's being so selfish, ripping Scout away from her brother and Rocco like he's the only one who matters. Jason, on the other hand, is the only one looking out for those kids and thinking about the family's best interests. Thank goodness for at least two level-headed dads in the mix, Jason and Dante, because the rest of the family is all over the place. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.